indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I guess she is a little nervous what happened to her. Boy, he planned that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Alt, Mr. Beistel, Mr. Calero, Mr. Fry, Mrs. Love,
Here.
Mr. Polakowski,
Here.
Mrs. Rhodes, Mrs. Shipley, Mr. Benz.
Here. Let the record show that Mr. Calero and Mrs. Shipley told me they had obligations. They were not able to make it tonight. Citizens' comments?
We have no comment cards this evening, sir.
Thank you. Minutes?
Next week, you'll be asked to approve the minutes of the April 6th and April 20th board meetings.
Any questions? Seeing none, for the record, Mr. Alt came in, so we'll have him. Reports, we can skip over those. Business and finance, bills payable, treasury report.
Yeah, the bills payable and treasurer's report are attached to your board docs. You'll be asked to approve those for next week.
Questions? Seeing none, budget discussion?
Yeah, the only thing I have under budget, at our meeting last Thursday, you had asked us to have the condition of the vans evaluated, so we were able to get that done, and those reports are attached to your board docs. Charlie, do you have anything you want to talk about with respect to the vans?
Now, if you look at those reports when we had graphed, they went over each van separately just to see if there was, what they looked at is everything they thought they could see coming in the near future that they would need. There's some mileage on them, the year of them. I think van number 4 was the one that's the most, needs the most work right now. It wouldn't even pass inspection without some of the repairs being done, but you get an idea where we stand. They are 12 years old, the two of them, and the other 2 are 2011, so they're 6 years old. Both, they've been taken care of pretty good. The drivers are all pretty aware of what they need to do. They do oil changes and stuff, so you can see what they need. But overall, it's just the years and the wear on the last 2 that's starting to really show some wear. Also, if we did lose that other van and we didn't pick up one this year that we do have planned, we wouldn't have a spare van, so that's what the plans were right now. If we do get one more van, the last 2005 would be used as a spare. The other one probably wouldn't be worth putting money in to continue making it run. I don't know if you have any questions or anything, but like I said, we tried to get that as quickly as possible. I apologize for not being here to answer your questions that night, but I had some other things going on. But we had them go over them as quickly as we could, so you had some idea what you were looking at.
So, like having said that, our recommendation will be, to move forward with the purchase of one additional van for this year, and then take a look next year and see where we are. Anything else under budget?
There's also an urgency. Change the address.
Yeah.
I have a question for Charlie. This van number 4, if we were to purchase another van, would we get these repairs done to the number 4 van? Or?
No.
Yeah, we'd either sell it or get rid of it. I mean, it's not, the body, I think you see even said rusting starting to show through and some things. It'd either be up to you guys, I guess, what we want to do with it, whether we would sell it or just retire it or whatever. Or even use it for maintenance. I don't know if they could use it for something.
Anyone else have anything? Nothing for Charlie. Anything else for budget related?
Thank you.
So next week we will ask you to post the proposed budget because it needs to be posted in May so that we can adopt it by the end of June. So we'll ask you to post that budget. While it's posted, we still have the ability to tweak, make cuts, make some adjustments here and there as need be. So we'll ask you to go ahead and post that. We'll get that on the agenda. If that's all right with you.
Old business, seeing none. New business, NIMSY.
Yeah, we had talked about the National Math and Science Initiative a few weeks ago, and they had asked us to sign a memorandum of understanding. Mr. Krofchek was able to get that from them. So we'll ask you to read and vote on that for next week. We also have a meeting scheduled with them for next Thursday, I believe, Dan, is that correct? Tuesday. Okay. So we'll be talking to them and getting some additional information as well.
Any questions? Seeing no questions, CWCTC budget?
Yeah, there attached to your board docs is the explanation and the actual budget for Central Westmoreland Career and Technology Center. Our contribution went down a little over $200,000 this year based on projected enrollment. We are not planning to send as many students this year. So the budget is there, and they will ask us to approve that at next week's meeting.
Questions? No questions. Maintenance electrical supply bids?
Right. Each year we bid for maintenance and electrical supplies as well as athletic supplies. So you can see on the attachment the successful bidders for maintenance, paper and electrical were AGF Company, Ellen Polker, Fagan Sanitary Supply, Janitor's Supply, Pioneer Manufacturing, and Pitt Chemical for a total of $41,548.45.
Questions? Athletic supplies?
We'll also ask you to approve the bid for awarding the athletic bids. American Aluminum Equipment, BSN Sports, Century Sports, Collins, MFAC, Medco, Natal Sports, Rydell Equipment, and Sportsman. The supply total there was $40,252.87.
Questions? New club at the high school?
Yeah, some students approached Mrs. St. Amant about forming a club and doing a little fundraiser. She informed them that they had to have bylaws before they could do that, and they would like to come and talk to you next week about their club and their proposed bylaws.
Questions? Need a motion to...
This is the last item. Yearbook pictures next week, so comb your hair pretty.
I need a motion to adjourn for personnel.
Adjourn or recess?
Adjourn.
Adjourn.
You're done with the meeting tonight?
If you want to stick around, you can, but we're all just about done. It's not a voting meeting.
No, I mean, you're not going through these other things? You're not coming?
Those are personnel.
It's personnel. We're going back.
Okay, but are you adjourning or are you recessing?
We're adjourning.
You're done with the meeting tonight?
Executive
No,
session.
you recessed.
Adjourning to...
We're not coming
Executive
back.
session.
Ever? Tonight? Okay,
We're not coming back to the public.
okay.
So the
I'm
first
sorry.
meeting we voted-
Now I get it.
Citizen comments.
Now I get it, but
Oh,
I didn't give my public report yet.
Oh,
You don't give your report
You don't give
this
it
meeting.
tonight.
Okay, then I won't.
citizens' comments?
Mr. Kiefer?
I thought there was something public here.
I'm Jan Kiefer, 628 Homestead Avenue. I just had 1 minute. I didn't finish. Boy, this was the shortest meeting in history, I'm sure. Caught me off guard. I just wanted to make a point about the process that we're using to select the students who come as representatives and sit on this board. I'm not sure what that process is, but I would like to see what that process is so that those students look like a regular middle of the class students, so that we're getting that perspective here, and that then my perspectives can be put into those people. I've seen a lot of students here, and there's nothing against the ones that are here. I just want that process to be explained. And on a similar note, on the student council, when they were looking at those bylaws, they stated that there was a 3.0 threshold for the student council to become an officer and a lead or so of student council, as I see it. I think about that philosophically and why the smart kids or the best test takers are better equipped to be the leaders of the student body. And similarly to my point I just made about the board's representatives, I think that needs to be examined. I think maybe we could have learned that with the Trump, the story around the Trump campaign that Hillary overlooked the working middle class, run-of-the-mill constituent. And the one other point on both of those is I think it's time that we can let the gender of one boy, one girl go. I think, that's insulting to the one boy or the second girl who would have been more qualified and desired to do that. And I think with transgender bathrooms and those issues coming up, you're going to have issues coming down the pike. And those are two progressive things you can do on that. And just back to the security officer or student resource officer, whatever it is, I want to again emphasize that he should have or she should have a body cam on, that he should have that person interviewed in a room that's completely photographed. I'll be in Pittsburgh tomorrow at 11 o'clock on the Woodland Hills issue. So speaking from those talking points, I think it would be nice if we did have our Citizens Oversight Board. It's not going to be any good if it's principals and teachers. There's going to be that fine blue line that's never crossed. I'm a candidate to do that. I would step forward and do that. And if you don't have that in place, if these kids out here have nowhere to go. If you get roughed up in Pittsburgh, there's 4 or 5 different agencies that are on every kid's refrigerator that they're going to call. When you get roughed up in Fayette County, whether it's the state police or your local police or your school police or your school principals or your school teachers, there's no structure there for our citizens to be heard. They don't know where to turn, and I want every kid in our school district to know what the ropes are, and they immediately have someone to call forward. And look, I'm not an anti-police person, and I'm sure a good policing program that's strong and self-confident would recognize that. So thank you for considering those 3 things.
Do we have a motion?
We have another comment, Mr. Benz.
Paul,
Go on.
I'm sorry.
I just actually want to address the foreign language issue. I received a letter that they were taking foreign language out of the middle school. I don't know if it's just 7th grade or 7th and 8th grade, and replacing it with developmental reading. Is this a budget thing? Is it something with the kids' grades not being high enough? I'm really kind of confused of why they're taking
Yeah, we have currently exploratory Spanish and exploratory French in 7th grade. They're half-year programs. Students get a brief introduction to each language. Then in 8th grade, they have an opportunity to take either French 1 or Spanish 1 that begins to count toward their credits. What we were finding when we looked at our scores and how our students were performing, some of our reading for information, informational reading, technical reading, those kinds of things were an area that we were falling a little bit short on. So in order to get a developmental reading program into the 7th grade, we had to find room in the schedule. So what we decided to do was allow foreign languages to start in 8th grade instead of 7th grade, and plug a developmental reading program into the 7th grade. So students can then take French 1 in 8th grade, as they've always been able to do, moving through 9, 10, 11, and 12, and get to an AP French course before they graduate, or an AP Spanish, either one.
Because I thought it was if you had a high enough grade and you were had an A average in reading, you were able to take a foreign language. I don't understand why all the kids are taking this opportunity away from them. Because my daughter has a 98 average in English. I don't really think she needs that developmental reading, and I'm sure there's a lot more other students that are the same. So I don't know why they're taking it away from all of them. I mean, I can see if the kids are struggling in English that they should take developmental reading, but I don't know why they're taking it away from every single child.
The developmental reading that's planned is going to be of a higher level that students like your daughter would also benefit from.
Okay. All right. But they are going to be able to take it in 8th grade?
Yeah. I made an appointment with Mr. Mashia to come in and talk. He could explain that much more articulately than I can because he and Mr. Krofchek had designed this program. But yeah, they were in 8th grade. Absolutely. So we're not taking foreign language out of the middle school.
Okay.
But rather we're trying to strengthen the language arts, and especially the reading program, the reading for information, technical reading, those kinds of things that kids really need to have.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, for the minutes, can you state your name and address?
Oh, Leanne Fletcher, 1328 Pittsburgh Street, Scottsdale.
Thank you. Anything else from the board? Motion to adjourn for personnel? Motion by Mrs. Rhodes, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Beistel. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 7-0.